do, I did that again. Hello, you guys. I was in a hurry to hit that live and I didn't put it back over to this side. How are you? And welcome. It's Monday here in Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, Canada. I am Lori LaRose. I have Active Stamping here on Facebook as well as on YouTube. I moved my lives over to YouTube for you, which is kind of nice because there's some search engine stuff I think going on over there. When I pop them over, I actually take a couple seconds and use some hashtags. So you can hashtag Active Stamping and find them that way, or find the channel, and then you can also like hashtag. I was doing the ABCs of techniques on Thursdays for the last, obviously for 26 weeks, but also there was a month off when I was on Uruguay and all that kind of good stuff. Hi Keisha, how are you, hun? So yes, and then like cocktails and cards, I think I put on there, techniques. So if you're interested in certain things, I think I also try different times. Today, for instance, I'm going to use framed scenes, and I think, hi Sharon, I think I do hashtag framed scenes stamps, for instance. So if there's something that you're like, oh, and I'm using an oldie today like crazy, and I'm definitely going to hashtag that because it'd be kind of fun if somebody was trying to find the thing. The only thing that I didn't do, and I was thinking about this, so this card, I kind of half tried it already once and kind of happy with it. So I'm going to do it with you guys. And I'm kind of, as you guys have heard me say a few times, half of my people are totally with me here, and regularly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I'm having trouble knowing what's live and what's not. So we just came off of 3 days of free shipping, and that was super fun and good and all that kind of stuff. I got a last order in on Friday night, and I've got some Halloween stuff on its way. Like I need Halloween stuff. 2 days, demonstrators get to pre-order from the new online stuff. We don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be great. So it's like, woohoo. Anyways, all right. I'm going to pop you down. If you are keen on being able to pre-order like some people are. Hi, Allie. You can always sign up. It's always a good time to sign up. And I'd love it if you'd be part of my team. I'm a pretty inactive team member. If you need help, I'm here for you. But if you just want to buy and be happy, you never get any, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to. What you're supposed to be doing is whatever you want to, right? Okay. All right. Hey, I have to show you something cool. So I painted my nails, and I know that they often look yuckies, and I do point that out. So I thought, well, I'll point out that I did kind of a nice job. I'm looking at my cuticles, not so good. But anyways, okay, check it out. Okay, you ready? What? They're color changing. Oh, that's funny. I fixed these ones, and they're a little bit not, but let's do it this way. How cool is that? So when I'm in the sunshine. So I have to say, I did them at midnight, actually a few days ago. That's why they're already starting to chip, sadly. My nails are really bad. They're very, I don't even know what you call it. Okay, frame scenes is this one. They're very oily beds, I think, is all I can come up with. And they don't want to grow. They chip and pop and all this kind of foolishness. So the bottom line is they look their best if I can keep some polish on them. It protects them. But they also don't stay on. So it's not a bad thing for gel moments. It's a bad thing just for my life. So I was looking at these the other day, and I was like, okay, I don't know why, but I kind of was thinking maybe because I bought it in the winter, I was thinking some of these were wintry. And really, actually, all of them are summery. Oops. Okay, bad thought on my part. But I went to, okay, yeah, this is totally summery. And then I was looking here, and this is the one I'm going to work with. And I'm going to show a surprise of why I thought I wanted to work with that, because of where my brain went when I saw that one. So as I work with it, you'll see why my brain went the way it went. Traveling. Yes. Okay. I need a block. Oh, and my black ink. Do I have it somewhere here? I kind of worked on this on Friday a little for a second or two, and then I was like not getting anywhere, spinning my wheels. Where's my black ink? And I think about that I was doing it Friday. Why? Because on Friday nights when I lose stuff, some of you play drinking games with me. Allie, where did you get your mailboxes from that you took the picture that you posted your photo of? Very pretty. Looks like it was somewhere like, I don't know of weird. Like the colors seem kind of Caribbean. Okay, I've already pre-cut a circle, which is, even as I was cutting, I was like, oh dang, that's why I just had it out and ready for us, as opposed to doing it, because it makes it harder. But because it's a circle, it'll make it okay too. And I'm going to come down low here because I got an idea. See how this goes. Okay, the nice thing about a circle is I can shift it slightly and it's still centered. Working with watercolor crayons and kind of pencils rather. We had crayons in the old days. Was thinking of working with these so that if you did never have any, I did double check and they are available and they're on the online store and they're quite handy. We get quite into the blends. These are very much more affordable. You get, I think it's a baker's dozen actually, 13 for $25. And then a whole bunch of nice bright colors for another $20 gets you another 10 or something like that. So you can do two things with the watercolors. You can color like this. And color in. And I'm going to color this here and then I'm going to add in, excuse me, a little bit of lime. I've had just a little tiny bit of a frog in my throat for a little while. I don't really like it. And then this actually, surprisingly, that looks like Pacific Point is actually balmy blue. So it's not, it's also doesn't seem to be quite as soft. So I am a 23-year-old demonstrator. I've been around Stampin' Up! For just about 24 years now. And I'm thinking, is that right? No, 2001. I gotta do the math on that. I don't feel like I don't think I am. I think I'm just 23. I don't know. Anyways, watercolor pencils. We used to have more of them. And they were super cool, but they were not actual our colors. They were just colors, and they were very pretty, which almost makes me feel like this one is, because it doesn't look quite as balmy blue as I would like to think it is. The reason you're seeing all of the messiness there, I'd read an article why some people hadn't bought these is they didn't know how to sharpen them. Did you guys see this little tiny bug here? And actually, I can come in a little bit so you can see my coloring more. Do you see that little tiny guy? Oh, so I have to laugh. I looked out my window today. Sorry, I'm trying to make that not bounce and it's bouncing worse. I'm looking out my window and I have a big spider and I have a big spider web, which I've had for a long time. Like for years, I mean, kind of thing. They've always kind of been there. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom here. Just nice and easy. So in a big area like this, I definitely would use a paintbrush and a little bit of water. I'll do that in a few seconds. On the smaller spaces, it's really nice to have the blender pen, and I can sure help you with what you should be having, but you get a really nice smooth, kind of a rich finish as opposed to a watercolor, and it just smooths it all out. Do you see? And it's just, it takes away all the lines. I mean, these are really exaggerated lines, but I'll do right here versus right there, because those are similar. And it just smooths them out. Fills it in and smooths it out. Woo! Cool, hey? The blender pens have two ends. You get 3 to a package. I used to always think, oh, if I get 3 people to order them, we'll do a share on those guys. But I have developed in the last like decade or more, each tip is for like blues and greens and yellows and pinks and and reds kind of thing. If you have different tips, you don't have to always clean constantly. When you are cleaning, you just simply rub it on there and the green goes away and now it's clear again, and I could use it with blue or red. The tip sometimes stays stained, but it doesn't actually transfer the colors. It's kind of unique. All right, let's see what color this is, because I was going to add in a little bit of brighter color on here and here. So this is coloring with what's this called? And then this guy here. So, okay, I'm sorry, I'm babbling away. people were wondering how you sharpen these, and you use like a child's, and if I was really, really great, I would have a pencil sharpener, just the typical pencil sharpener. I did read somewhere that take the pencil sharpener and twist it around this as opposed to twisting this inside the pencil sharpener. That's new for me. But yeah, a couple people were like, I didn't know how I would sharpen them. And so it's pretty simple. And maybe I do have, I sometimes travel. So this is how I kind of travel, with a few markers and a few. And then the other little sneaky that I do, actually looking in here, that's where my greens are too. I grab basic colors, and so that I don't have a ton, but I have some. And then, and usually, as you can see, I definitely have sharpened them, because somewhere there was just pencil sharp. There, you see the, each time, woo, see the pencil? Yeah, so I usually have a pencil sharpener in here. I don't know where it went. Oh no. In a couple of the, and then coloring them with Wink of Stella as you're wet makes it kind of fun. Yeah, I'm going to totally bring these out of here, because I think I need this green, for instance. And I might need, is this the same green? No, it's a little brighter. This is Granny Apple Green, and this is no name, but it's definitely green. So, and then I might need this yellow. And what's this blue? Okay, so the couple colors we got in a kit. And there's one, there was a watercolor kit. Is it gone finally, actually? Okay, so why these guys look like this is because I take a wet paintbrush and I use the tip of the paintbrush. And now I've got a watercolor on there as well. So then I can fill in, and it does kind of a fun, I can dry it a little tiny bit and have it more concentrated by having it not quite so wet brush. Or I can have it totally a watercolor. So again, kind of different from the blends, right? And then, so I can't take this and it be wet. That's weird. But if I take this guy, which would just barely, but if I put him on here, oh, you know what? Yeah. Sorry, I'm umming and on. You know what we don't really have? I have espresso, and I was just wondering, do I have a different brown? Oh, here's a brown. Is this espresso? Yeah, it's still a espresso too. Oh, I actually want gray. Does this not have a gray? Do I have to work with black and white to make gray? I guess maybe. Okay, so in a different world, I would, like if I was traveling, I'd have to figure that out. But since I have an ink pad right here, I'm going to add a little tiny bit of watercolor to this. And I don't know if you know, but I can totally take my blends and pick up the color and turn that into a little marker as well. So that's kind of cool. So these are very neat. I quite like my watercolor. I'm not using a water crate. Not using a pencil right now, I know. But this is, you can fill in some gaps if you need to. And I like the gray. This all started because of the rock, which now I won't be able to show quite as well. I was going to show you, oh, you know what? Let's try that. Picking up the watercolor with the, I was clearly, okay, again, remember this is from my travel. And so I clearly was making, fixing up the greens. And so I could make some sparkly grass. But anyways, I'm laughing because it's green. Green won't be bad with my gray, but it seems like it's dried out. So hang on just a second. I just need to get it coming down. You are allowed to, it says push, Evan. You are allowed to squeeze these so that you get the juice coming out. And clearly my hands need some moisturizer, so this is perfect. If I keep my hand down, oh, come on, little guy. Are you really that bad? I'm trying to think if I can feel it, if it's plugged. And do I have another one here? I do. Hang on. Let's work with this one for a second. I'll work on that one in a second. I feel like this one's wetter. So can I pick this up? I probably. Yeah. So fun. And it's already got a glitter on it. Hee 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 hee. So your Winkestella is pretty fun. Can you see the sprinkle, the sparkly? Of course, the water for sure. So now the water I didn't do, and so I can totally add in a little bit of gray, but I can totally blend in my water with sparkles and have it all beautiful. How fun is that, hey? And then just so it's not so too crazy, I'm going to add in a little more direct from here. So I pick it up straight from, and that's why I've got what I've got going on over here. And I just want to have some water all over the place. Right up to the rocks and to the edges. Okay, the sky, I probably also want to have something. This is quite, so I find this interesting because this to me isn't balmy blue. And I'll show you if I have balmy blue. Oh, it's over here. What balmy blue sky to me looks like in a watercolor situation, hey? So when you see it here, it's pretty similar. Can you see that? If I take a big wet brush for the sky, oh, wait, I'm getting out of context. I can't do the sky yet. Wait a second. I'm giving it away. Okay, so continuing to color in here. I brought in a new green. This is, oh, fantastic. I honestly, the other night I was working with my old garden green set. I don't know where it went, but okay, this is perfect. So just color it in. And actually, coloring it in circles like this makes me think, oh yeah, I should have colored it in circles like this. Oh, that layering over top is really pretty, hey? So what'd you guys do for the weekend? I went golfing this afternoon, had a great time. And yeah, super fun time, basically. All right. I did well. We went yesterday as well. A friend of ours had passed away, and his daughter was having a memorial for him out at the golf course, actually, for golfers, essentially, obviously. And it was a nice turnout, and it was nice tribute to him. So I did that yesterday. It was a scramble, and then I went out today with a girlfriend. Had so much fun. Having a bit of trouble hitting that line, but that's okay. Just adding a little bit of, what's these called? Trunks. My eyeballs. And you guys, what'd you do? All right, so that's that guy. I can come in here. I don't want a lot of water. And again, I can, instead of using a blending pen, I can use this. Push it around. And make it all pretty. All right. Now, what did I use for gray? Oh yeah, this. It's right here. I got distracted. I need to finish my bridge. And I can make it a little darker by going straight onto the ink pad or not. You guys are awfully quiet. All right. Now in between here, oh, there's a little bit of green. Good. Actually, that'll totally be green. I can see that. So when I looked at this the other day, I thought about my New York trip last summer. And I need a little darker green in there too, because that's not the right green. So I'm just adding in a little bit more. And I was thinking, oh, this looks like it could be in Central Park. Well, except obviously it should have a skyline behind it. So I was thinking, oh, do I have a skyline? Oh, I have this. These are too big. I looked at a couple different things, but I had in my mind this set. And I think there's one paper pumpkin one as well. So this one I went and found, and I think it's going to work. So I already have pre-cut. Now I say that, do I know where it is? Rats. I have pre-cut, I say, a mask, because I got to mask the bridge out. Rats, you guys, I really actually was half prepped for you, and now I'm right back to zero. Okay. Boo, I think I'm just better to do it again. Oh, how disappointing is that? I guarded that thing for a while too. So sad. My knees both just cracked. Oh, rats. Okay, no problem. If you're pretending it's the weekend and you're like, I don't care, I'm drinking because you're funny, Lori. Good. Drink away. Okay, this set is on here. So when you're doing a mask, you just stamp it again. And I just need to cut that out. The saddest thing is that I don't even have good scissors, but I made it happen. I'm still looking desperately for it. Okay. I'm sure this has got to be faster. Okay, so I'm just going to cut right along the ink part. So I've done it on a piece of, like on foolscap or copy paper. You can do it on a Post-it note, and do it on the, so the sticky side is down, like off of where you're going to cut away kind of thing. And that's nice because then it sticks in place, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure how precise I have to be because I'm doing this now. I'm chopping rather choppily, but the better detail you do, the better the image. When you mask, you stamp what you want to be in the foreground first. And then when you stamp behind it, if you've never done this, watch and see. I always think of the classic, the farmer in front of the barn. We used to have a farmer in a barn, and you would stamp the man and then you would stamp up the thing. And it was always kind of cool. Okay, I'm going to do that because that looks like that would be good. And likewise over here. Also good. Okay, so now when I lay this on top here, it masks all that. You want to drop it down just a smidgen, because even with the thinner paper like this, don't do this on cardstock, because the jump, when you go to stamp your image, it actually has to kind of jump over the edge, if that makes any sense. And so you're better to have, excuse me, you're better to have it pulled back just a little tiny bit so that you don't have a line. Often you can fill in the line with however you're coloring things, but anyways, okay. So see, I don't have it way down here, but if you can imagine and could see through, I also don't have it up tighter. I actually want to see the black lines of my image. So that side's good, but this side has to come down. Okay, so I can see black lines over everything. That's fantastic. If you didn't feel comfortable with that, you could tack it down, but each time I go to push it down, it's in the same spot. So that's good. I'm going to use my black ink pad, which is my white foam ink pad. And I'm going to ink up this whole thing because I think I need it all. And I'm going to hope for the best. I'm going to stamp up a little bit higher than we would normally think. And I am going to have, now that's straight, I think. Oh, it's not. Hold on a second. Okay, and I'm going to put this here. Like I said, hope for the best. Stamp it and lift. Waha! How fun is that, you guys? I love it. All right, right here, I'm going to, I can fill that in as building, or I'm going to probably pretend like that's a bit of greenery. So I'm just going to add a little green right here. And then in here, I'll probably do that as gray building kind of thing. But we'll just put that, that's more lawn. And so I will melt that away. And then I can, woohoo. Super fun, hey? And then in here, like I said, I'll put that as gray building, not black. Where's my gray go? And some of these could be kind of a red building. So there is a part in the park that literally has a view to, I should have looked what it's called. Not the Ritz. What is that big fancy hotel that everybody, what's her face? That little Eloise or whatever stays in it. Oh, I'm going to have to come back with that. I'll have to fill it in. I'm going to do this one a colored. That's going to be a red brick. I'm going to do this one, this color. And then we'll go with that. Now, I did try and use this guy, the Eiffel Towery guy. Not the Eiffel, the, oh my gosh, my words are leaving me. You go to the top of this one, Empire State Building, and tried to have it right here. But this looks too much like the Empire State Building, basically, so I can't have it again. Well, I could, if I did it this way, it would look like it was just this big building. But it's still the same. It's still Rockefeller's. I think that's what it's called. Maybe Rockefeller's was over on 5th. Anyways, so once I put this one in, then I didn't need the other one. And I could stamp again, but it would be this building over here, and then that's weird. So this is good. And then I think I want this to be some brick colored brown buildings. And I won't do all of these, but we'll mount it up and put it on a card. Which is about as far as I got the last time I was thinking about this. And I was like, oh dear, what am I going to do now? I'll make this one crushed curry. Plaza Hotel. The Plaza is across Central Park. And it looks like that. Okay, this guy here, I'd really like it to be red. And I am 92% sure we do not have red. We have to have red. Don't we have to? Is this Mellow Mondo or is this red? Real red. Woohoo! So I think I can make this red brick building. And I'll add some brown to make it brown red brick building. Now it's going to be so snazzy, hey? So this is using Everyday Hero. And I was thinking when I knew I was going to use this that I have the coolest card with this Everyday Hero. But that being said, okay, so now I want to bring in some brown. Where'd it go? Here it is. And then I'm hoping this color's right when I blur it together. Just like I'll probably add a little gray to this. And then I can add now the blue sky. But that's why I couldn't do the blue sky earlier, hey? Oh, that looks pretty. That's working. It's a little tiny bit red. It's definitely a good red brick building. How cool is that, you guys? I love it. All right. And then, so none of these are really the plaza shape, but that's okay. And then this is another building that I need to be just, maybe there's a blue building here. That probably should be, what do you call it? Okay, so now I can do windows in here. Wow, I'm all over the place there. Okay, now if I take a big brush and my blue, I can do a watercolor wash. I have one more building to do. I guess I really will do it. Okay, so I guess this is, I always think of Balmy Blue as far more subtle. He just got quite gray, didn't he? And this is quite wet. I don't want it to be quite that wet. There is no color on that whatsoever. Come on. Come on, color. Pretty. Okay, blue skyline. Color should I do this little guy in my limited colors? You know what? I have a little pecan here right in front of me. Why wouldn't I add a little tiny bit of color to this? Do it a muddy mustard color. I say it's muddy because I think there was some red still left on the cool. I don't think I like these holes here, so. There. All right. Oh, sky down here too. Cool. There's a Kleenex because I feel like I got a little bit too much water. I'll probably soak in by the time I get it dried. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Oh, you know what? I have the brown. That's sad. I have the pecan pie on this brush still. All right, I'm going to see if I can blot it out of there. I think I might be able to. Oh, I always say it's dyed ink, but let's see if I wash it out. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I boobed it up a little tiny bit. So I'm showing you how you can maybe fix it. You can fix it better with the watercolor pencil crayons. Dye ink is kind of dye ink, but what I'm doing is flooding it with water and picking it up. And so sometimes that picks up a lot of the brown. And I kind of actually think I'm kind of happy with that it's coming together. All right. Nice. Super duper. And I think I colored in all of the trees. And everything looks lovely. So then we need to put it onto a thing, a color. I don't know that I want to put it on green. What kind of color? Now we need to make the card. So I'm going to back it up. Hi, Kathy. How you doing? Oops, I didn't back it up. I pulled it right in tight. I'm working, Kathy, with Everyday Hero and Oldie Moldy. Working with also the framed scenes, which when I looked at this the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, that could be like a part of the bridge in Central Park, but it needs a background. So I did a masking. Dun, 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 dun. I will work on the sky a little tiny bit. After it's dry, I'll try and bring it back to life. I do have the idea of which size I need. It's just color. And I kind of think I want to do, if I can find a nice, I don't want Cajun. Crumb cake maybe, Ellen. Oh, I wonder. Would crumb cake be a good color? I have a big box in the middle of my room. I have to come way around. Crumb cake might be kind of fun, actually. I'm gonna cut a circle, or I could have a bright spot and then put it onto a crumb cake thing. Maybe I want to do that. Do I want it on a blue? So the actual frame scenes comes with an oval cutout. When I laid the oval on, it cut out too much of my skyline, so that wasn't going to work. Let's see if I do. The balmy blue. What if I do that on that? Maybe that's the idea. I'll do that. So I'm going to cut this circle out from this. Hi, Vicky. How you doing, hun? I'm missing you guys. So Wednesday is our last July group, and then we start over again. If you'd like to get going with us on a trip to the world, we head to a new destination on the weekend, full of inspired, how do I call it? What did I call it? Destination inspired prompts and stuff. Okay, that's really pretty. Hi, Jamie. And then this guy needs to get trimmed down a little tiny bit. Now, what words do we need? So frame scene's got no words. This one is more about, it doesn't work, basically. Chase your dreams, sure. A hello would be okay. Bonjour. With love and much thanks. You are the greatest. Thank you. I'm just looking what I've got on here. Can't wait to see you again. Oh, this could almost be a postcard from New York City. Can't wait to see you again. New York, you stole in my heart. I left my heart not in San Francisco, but in New York. Okay, I'm going to see if this is in here. because you know, oh yeah, can't wait to see you again. It's here. Woohoo me. I'm going to use that. I think I need it on a piece of paper. Dun 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 dun. Boop. Okay, where is super suit? Does this work? No. I've got just the littlest tiny things here. Hold on, I need a piece of white paper. And then I think I'm going to stamp it in, maybe in brown paper. Excuse me, I'm sorry about my little cough. It's rather annoying. You know what? I'm going to stamp it in. Blueberry bushel's not good enough. Okay, I'm actually going to stamp it in Night of Navy. I always think that Balmy Blue and Night of Navy make a good match. This would be nice. The words is what I'm trying to figure out right now. And I pulled myself back, but am I... There, maybe, hey? And is that big enough? So sometimes if your words are just barely, you can turn it just slightly, and then of course you have a different angle, and it works. And then hopefully this is right track on here. So I only have to cut one edge. Jeez Louise, that looks dark. I guess as it dries, it'll become navy. Look at me looking. Is that navy? Tigger, is that you? I don't know if I hit that straight, actually. Sorry. I cut better this way. I don't think I did cut it straight. Now it's just all wonky doodle. So do you guys tend to have the thing cut and then come back at it? Or do you do you eyeball it, or do you try to come up on your machine at this point? I'm always curious how people feel like, oh man, sometimes it really makes me crazy. That is so not straight, you guys. Ay, ay, ay. And I think, well, what if I cut it this way? Would it get any straighter? I'll leave it. I really don't, this is like I did it in blue. The navy is just a little bit darker than I intended it. I do believe this is too big, but this is going to be, and then I'll put the whole thing on a white card, I think. This is just a little bit, oh, I have to show you what else I was doing. Tray favor. So I have it 4. I had it 4 by about 5.5. And then I'll get a white base of a card as well. And in real truth, I'm going to use Starry Sky actually because I have it. And I'm going to cut a little tiny, about maybe a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch dealio here. Hopefully straight, and hopefully I do it straight. I think I got this at about 7 inches. Maybe this will be too big, but that's okay. Okay, where did I just lose my stuff? Totally just lost what I was doing. Where did it go? Ah, you guys. Okay, oh, here it is. I just lost my card base and my piece of paper and everything. Okay, pull this card together. So again, if you're just popping on here and you're like, what is that? Did you see I was lining that up over there? Okay, balmy base. Cookie-eyed piece of paper. Did a little bit of crumb cake. I'm making a New York part. Oh, this is gigantic. Is this literally what I'm doing? Oh, for goodness sakes, Lori LaRose. Totally has to be like a 1/2 inch. That is so big. Is that really what I brought over here? Ay, ay, ay. All right, take 2 on this. Totally just need it to be less than 1/2 inch. Not less than 1/2 inch. Less than 3/4 of an inch is what I'm trying to say. This will be better. I'm going to do it in Starry Sky because it'll be pretty. This is not drying. That is just dark. Night and Navy used to be total basic for us. So again, 23 years I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Had a lot of colors through the years. I used to use Night and Navy. That used to be the color. Chocolate Chip and Night and Navy were the two ink colors that we always bought. And a whole bunch of chalk. Okay, I'm going to stamp this right here and hope for the best. I don't know if you can see that I stamped that. But I like this bright color. Oh, do you know what? I feel like maybe I have that on there crookey-eyed. Like the, maybe the label. I'm pretty particular. If I do put a label on, I'm pretty particular. I'm going to have to check that out, but that totally is crookey-eyed. That's okay. I will cut it wonky-eyed and it'll be good. And this way, this here. Oh my goodness, you guys. You're like, don't start again. I'll just do the whole thing wonky-eyed and it'll be good. All right, so I think what I'll do is I'll find a brick wall. I'll go do that right now because that will finish this off. Hi, Marianne. Thanks. It's kind of fun, hey? So I masked it and I put it behind there so I could have rain. But I have a brick wall and I think that'll be kind of cool. Oh, here's my brick. Okay. And brick wall, I want the brick to be this way. I think the brick wall will be kind of a neat way of doing this. I think you could also do trees, or anything, obviously. Trees, or the bark. There's a bark one right now, isn't there? This is also not current, this brick. But I think there is something that looks like distressed something. I think this might be fun. Might not be because it is an outdoor scene. You know what? Maybe I don't like it, but at least there's some texture. So I'll put some sort of texture behind here. Might not be this one. And then I can't wait to see you again. And I think I'll do it this way. And then a couple maybe rhinestones. And we'll call it a day. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Just to close off, used the very old Everyday Hero. I believe there's a paper pumpkin that has something fun in it. Interesting. This really got all that was in there was that. Cool. And I missed out on that because I didn't come high. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So I could have I couldn't kind of go any higher though. Anyways, okay. So I believe there's a paper pumpkin that had a skyline as well. And then I used the bridge from the framed scenes for that card. All right. I will let you guys go. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I will see you again tomorrow night, live at 8. It'll be great. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.